ever since I was reunited with my birth mother a couple of years ago. I've made every effort to get up to see her at least once a month. Now, COVID kind of got in the way of that for a while. I go up early in the morning, we do breakfast, and I stay overnight and come home the next day. On those days, my mom posts on her Facebook page, "It's a Jake Day." It is both an announcement and a warning. This is a special day. Don't interrupt. It's a strange day for both of us because we are hell bent on filling every single waking hour with something to do. But on those days, we do absolutely nothing. We simply sit and talk. It's not a matter of catching up on lost time. We rarely spend much time talking about the past. Oh, we tell some good stories over time. But most of the time, it's about the present, about life, about what's going on, our families, children, grandchildren. It's about church. It's about the world. It's sacred time. I get a reminder of that every time I reach for my phone to check my messages. I get a not so subtle reminder that it's a Jake Day. It seems really odd to have time so conditioned by a relationship. Time stands still for that 24-hour period. It is holy and sacred. While it may be strange today, it was not always that way. The religious life of the world really shaped time for centuries, particularly those who celebrate as people of the book, Christians, Jews, and Muslims. For each of them, there is a sense of cyclical time that is tied to the rhythms of nature, the created order. In addition to that, there's a sense of linear time. Time is going somewhere. There will be an end of time. For Jews, it's the great and terrible day of the Lord. For Christians, it's the eschaton, the return of Jesus. For the Muslims, it's the hour. And it is that end time that impacts how we deal with our daily time. It is all seen in relationship. And so how we spend our daily lives reflects how we understand that end of time. It affects our morals, our values, our behaviors. It shapes how we see and spend time, sacred time. Worship is one of those experiences where time is suspended and wrapped up in divine time. So is prayer. How we live in relationship to one another and to God is a reflection of how we see that time. It's one of the great struggles for those of us who continue to believe in God's time, divine time, in the midst of a secular world, a world where time is but time and dictated more by a digital world than by a spiritual one. We never have enough time. We think we can manage time, but we realize we can't. It is simply always beyond us, always driving us to change, to catch up. It's no wonder we get depressed all the time. This time this understanding of time has crept into the church to the point where the successful church is the one that can change the fastest and to keep up with time and to help people manage their time. A one-stop shop so that they can do all their things at once. Even worship becomes driven by time. I got a sense of this a number of years ago. My good friends had been cajoling me for years to join them at their favorite monastery for a week. I finally gave in. I was kind of curious to see what it would be like to pray the hours, that regular rhythmic pattern of prayer over a 24-hour period. I was very disappointed. We gathered at those appointed times throughout the day, but it seemed as though the object of our gathering was to get through the liturgy of the prayer as fast as we could, so that we could get on to those things that are more important. It was a strange experience, but it was very telling on how this secular understanding of time has totally robbed the church of its understanding of holy and sacred time. Perhaps the beginning of a change is to recognize what's been happening. We have choices to make. Do we buy into the secular version of time, or do we continue to plod along with our understanding of God's time, with its rhythms and its ending? The one leads to life. The other can get you really depressed in a hurry. I don't have a song today because I think the best song to speak of this sense of time was written years and years ago by one of my favorite singer-songwriters, Harry Chapin. It's entitled, "I Wonder What Would Happen to This World." I encourage you to look it up on YouTube, to play it, and to let it wash over you. I think he has something poignant to say about how we use our time.